Good morning, zombie apocalypse. To those of you awake and those of you asleep, I am Vicky Wiles, the Awakened Bruja, and I am here to share my perspective on this life that we're experiencing. I had a Kundalini awakening, spontaneous, was not planning on it, didn't even know it was a thing. But I started diving into my psyche and really diving into all the trauma that I had experienced as a child, as a very young age, and how I cope with my experience of life. So, having done this, I woke up to my subconscious is the only way that I could explain it. It's like the shadow self and the light self seeing itself and understanding each other. If you've ever spaced out and talked to yourself and got the answers that you needed when you zoned out and you just start talking to the voice in your head, it's your subconscious. That's you. That's your inner being, your knowing that is with you all the time. It's been with you since birth. So I will do my best to express myself as I see it coming through my mind. One way that I experience this world is by having visions in my head. It's like, have you ever heard that saying, you have three eyes, two to see, two to look and one to see? That's what it is. It is your mind's eye, the screen in your forehead that is showing you the images that you are experiencing and hearing the inner voices that come through. Just as like a song or jingle pops in your head and you hear that beat come in, this is how I communicate to spirit and how I communicate to my inner knowing. So this podcast, I will be on here pretty much every morning, at least Monday through Friday, to do a short clip of what it is that I'm experiencing and what it is that spirit is leading and guiding me to say, because that is what I feel like is so important and lacking so much in this world. People are stuck in their patterns, they're stuck in their, uh, programming of what they believe is normal and have lost communication with their soul, with their vibe, the thing that gives life purpose and meaning to keep going every day. And so many people live with depression and anxiety and mental illness and autoimmune. That's your body, your nervous system, all just wreaking havoc, saying, no more, not today. I'm done. Listen to me. When you stop listening to your body, it will scream and it's going to let you know it is here and needs attention. So, if you deal with any of that, I hope that my voice can bring you some comfort to know that you can get past all of that. You can understand your physical being, your physical vessel, as well as your conscious energy that's life force giving, animating your avatar. Okay. Think of your body as a vessel. It is a living, breathing vessel, a bag of bones, but this vessel is only alive for, say, let's say you live 100 years. The spirit of life has been here a lot longer than that. This is just a blip of your experience. And most of the time, you are in the physical vessel and using your mind to think. Your mind is just the computer, it's what's picking up the programming of everything you've ever been taught. It is your filter as you're looking out and experiencing the world. Your mind is showing you your perspective through the filter of your experiences. It isn't necessarily truth. It isn't necessarily the life you want to, the timeline you want to be on in this life. It's going to show you what it's used to showing you and what you keep focusing on and what you keep internalizing. As you understand that the vessel is just the car and the spirit and the energy that's animating this car is different. That is your subconscious. That's your darkness. That is the inner wisdom that comes from your bloodline and comes from your heartbeat. That brain, not the brain in your head. If two, you don't know this, you might think it's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Science is figuring this out. You can research some studies. There's no questions out there that don't have answers anymore. It's just whether or not you're asking the right question and how you're wording it. Your words matter. Every word has a root meaning to it. You don't want to just take things as you interpret it. You want to study and really, really dive in. If you want to know, you'll know. I was just telling my husband, I was like, people that want to know God, the creator, spirit, whatever, want to know the woo woo, they will. They will sit there and they will dive into whatever it is that you want to know. You have a new boyfriend, you're going to find all the details out about him. You're gonna stalk his Facebook, you're gonna stalk his Instagram. You're gonna know every detail there is to know. You wanna know God, if you wanna know the Great Spirit, then you will read every single freaking book there is to know about energy, about religions, about society, about philosophy, about psychology. All of that matters. It's all an experience and it's all wrapped together like one big web. So there's nothing out there that you can't know. It's just the willingness to understand it. And trust me, as you understand yourself and you understand your perspective and understand how you're seeing things, people might think you're crazy, but who really cares? Because their experience and their perception of you doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change the reality that you've lived through and the experiences that you've come up to. The spirit of somebody, the calm in their heart, the knowing in their voice and their tone matter. You can tell when somebody doesn't know what the hell they're talking about is when they get agitated and they start screaming or putting force or fear on you, like, believe the way I do, or you're wrong. Well, that's a spirit of fear. That's not a spirit of God. God is quiet and still and calm and peace. Love and joy, those are the vibes that I'm looking to engage with. That is where I want to exist most of the time because we all have all these energies, all these emotions that run through our bodies for a reason. There are guides. There to let us know, "Hey, this doesn't feel right. Hey, this is off. Hey, this could be better." It's learning to live and understand how you feel and what your filter and your mind is telling you, then you have the conscious choice, the effort that you choose to make on what you're gonna focus on, what it is that you wanna bring to this life, what it is that you want to experience even more so. For me, I knew I grew up in a shitty household. I knew I grew up not like everybody else, grew up with a abusive father and a mother who was his first victim probably, maybe not his first, but she didn't know any better and she raised us kids to just do what we were told by him and it really didn't matter what he said or how messed up it was fine. So, I didn't have parents to love me or show me what it was like to actually be part of a family. I had to learn what that looked like and not just read it and kind of understand it. I needed to develop my character to be the mom that I so desperately needed and wanted. I had to figure that out on my own. But it was a conscious choice that I chose to make because I wanted the experience more than anything to have children and to be a good mom. And I failed miserably, miserably for a long, long time. I was drinking and doing all the things that entertained me and faded me out because I couldn't cope with the emotions that I never looked at or never dealt with. My own accountability for my actions and my experience in this world. Once I started paying attention, I was like, okay, there's a lot of changes I'm going to make, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard, but it's so worth it if that's really what you want to do. If you want change, you have to start changing. You don't change, nothing's going to change. That's kind of common sense. It's not that hard to figure that out. And in a year from now, I know I'll be in a completely different place than where I'm at right now because I'm in a completely different place than I was a year ago, and the year before that, and the year before that, like, life is constantly changing. So, That's good and that's bad, right? It depends on your mindset and how you view it. For me, I want the change. Want the experience of life. I want all of it. I want to feel it. I want to experience everything that life has to show me. Everything that spirit is going to put in my path. I'm going to experience it, and waking up to the patterns of this world and the matrix of this world and the lies from society and the programming and people and their mindsets. And it is not for the faint of heart. Anybody who's awake in this world right now will tell you that. Seeing people just not be aware of their own words, their own actions, their own mindsets, their own belief systems is very, very hard because ultimately we know nothing. Ultimately, you woke up today and you didn't see your face. I'm seeing my face on a freaking camera screen right now, but I can't physically look at my face unless I'm looking at a reflection. Can't stare at myself unless I'm projecting my conscious outside of my body and looking at it from a third party perspective. You are an it. You believe all the things that you believe because you think they're true. You believe your mom is your mom because that's what you were told. If you had a DNA test, then you believe that the DNA test is right and the people who did that are credible. You are putting your faith in all kinds of things, but really we're only seeing 1% of the world. That's what we're experiencing in our very, very limited bodies and mindsets. Every night you go to sleep and your body shuts down and it reprograms the mind. It calms. And then in the morning you wake up a whole new entity, whole new being. Our cells are constantly rejuvenating, dying off, and new cells are being born. We are in control of our experience with our minds and how we think, how we speak, what we do all matters. And it's so easy to get distracted. It's so easy to get entertained and experience day by day that a life that's being given to us, a life that we're being shown, whether it's we're just engaging and going to work every day and hustling, whether we're rushing our kids off to softball games or holiday seasons and running back and forth and gotta spend money and buy everybody presents, whether it's you gotta send your kids to school or you gotta go to the hospitals, you gotta go to church, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. None of it fucking matters, man. It all depends on what it is that you choose that you want to experience. And if you're doing shit that you feel like in your core isn't you, it isn't right for you, then why the fuck are you doing it? You're alive right now, and at the end of the day, if today's your last day, I hope you live a life that when you take that last breath, you're like, "Yeah, no, I did it. I did what I said I was gonna. I did what I wanted to. I left my mark. I was my fire, my spirit, because that's all you've got. That's all you've got. You're coming into this world with fucking nothing. You're leaving with nothing. You leave a legacy. You leave a voice. Or maybe nobody will remember you. Who are you impacting? Who is it that you're speaking to? Who in your life matters to you? And what are you showing them? Because I hope my kids know that I love them. I hope that my grandbabies know that I am going to do everything I possibly can to be a good role model for them so that when they look up to me, they see truth and not somebody who's saying, do better than me. Because everybody can say that, and then they show you that why that you can't do it. So do better, be more, and take it one day at a time. You don't need to take on everything, and nobody's going to change the world overnight, right? But if I make one little effort to be better today than I was yesterday, then a year from now, I know the change I'll see. And so I'm going to be here to encourage all of you to find your voice, to find your truth and speak from your experiences because each one of us has our own unique filter of experience. We each have a blessing of voice that we can learn from each other. And if we're just honest about our experiences and our viewpoints and what it is that we're seeing versus screaming at each other and forcing each other or trying to condemn each other for feeling differently or I always think that's like the silliest thing ever. Like you're different than me, I'm gonna make fun of you. Like that's just ignorance. That's childlike. To me, I'm like, show me how different you are so that I can learn from you, so that I can see what beautiful thing you create that's different than me because we're all different. We're supposed to be. That's the awesome part of life and all these people. I mean, it's like a cauldron of amoebas, and each one of us makes up the whole. But together, we create something cool. So I hope that you are experiencing a beautiful day today. And I hope that you're going to join me these mornings and for these little rants and kind of just, let's just say, let's just be human. Let's just be human and let's be honest and let's have conversations and let's choose a different way to be. I am very spiritual. I love the woohoo and the subconscious mind and the psychology behind it and the science behind it. I love connecting with the voices that have come through to me since I was a child in my deepest, darkest moments. I understand that that's weird to some people and they're like, "Why would you do that?" But for me, that is that is a big part of who I am, and so I'm going to share that, and I'm going to share what it is that they're telling me to share, and I'll get more comfortable, and I will figure out this whole computer system and all this stuff that is new to me, but, yeah, let's do this. Let's start a conversation, and if there's something you wanna ask spirit, then just ask. I'll tell you anything I possibly can. So, I hope you have a beautiful day. Go out there and create something. Create your life, however that looks. Good luck to you.